Hello everyone, today we are going to be talking about the impact of the Turkish Straits on the Byzantine Empire. So let's start with an overview of these Turkish Straits. So they're the Dardanelles and the Bosphorus. I guess the Americanized version of Bosphorus is Bosporus Straits. They're in western Turkey, and along with the Sea of Marmara, they connect the Black and Mediterranean Seas. They are two very narrow straits that serve as a strategic trade route. So here's a map. In red you can see the Bosphorus, and it's right near Istanbul. And then the yellow, as you can see, is the Dardanelles, and it's right near Çanakkale. That's why it's sometimes called the Çanakkale Strait. So before we get into detail about these straits, let's share a quick story. So, the person you can see in the picture here is Xerxes, the king of Persia. And when he was invading Greece, he did not want to go around the Black Sea, because that would have taken a month or even a year more than normal. So he tried to cross the Dardanelles, which was known as, at that time, as the Hellespont. Well, he built a bridge of boats. It took 3 days to cross his entire army over to the other side of the Hellespont, but he did it. So, after losing to the Greeks, you'll remember that he was on his way to Thermopylae, where the Battle of 300, as it's sometimes known, occurred. On the way back from losing, he decided to try to cross it again. Unfortunately, a storm had destroyed his boats, and they were now out to sea. So, you have to understand, if you just lost a war, you're kind of upset. So he decided to punish the Hellespont. And he ordered his army to burn the water with branding irons, and then he started whipping it. So that just shows how angry he was. So that's just a quick story about the Dardanelles even before the Byzantine Empire. So let's start with the Bosphorus Strait. So it's located near Istanbul, and it connects the Sea of Marmara to the Black Sea. Now, it separates western and eastern Turkey, and it actually forms a border between Europe and Asia. And if you can see in this picture, you see the division. That tealish sort of water is actually phytoplankton that light up. So it's actually lighting up the strait. It's just an interesting science-y thing. And it's 20 miles long, and its width varies from a half mile to 2 miles. Its depth is 100 to 395 feet. And in this current day, 55 million British tons of oil pass through the Bosphorus annually. So the Byzantines used the Bosphorus for the defense even more than they used the Dardanelles. It was very dangerous to cross. As you can see, the several sharp turns in the Bosphorus, and they would cause maritime incidents, and an entire naval fleet would suffer serious casualties. So the Bosphorus made the third water boundary for Constantinople. As you can remember, Constantinople was located on a peninsula. So you had the Sea of Marmara to the south and the Black Sea to the north, and to the east you had the Bosphorus. And remember, to the west there was land, but it was protected by walls and a moat, so it would be very hard to break through. The Bosphorus was handy for trade too, and because of the location of the capital, almost all trade routes, regardless if it was from the north, south, east, or west, encountered the Bosphorus at some point. They handled especially smuggled silk eggs from China. That was one of their most famous trades. Not really trades, they just went and stole some silk eggs, and they became the monopoly silk manufacturers in Europe. And anyway, they were able to have a customs station, which is sort of like a toll booth, and they could charge entrance, and they made a large income from the Bosphorus just because of this trade. Now let's look at the Dardanelles. So the Dardanelles are located in western Turkey as well, but it separates eastern Turkey sometimes known as Anatolia, from Western Turkey, which is sometimes known as Thrace. And where you see the Western Turkey right here, it is the Gallipoli Peninsula, and if you're interested in World War I, you might remember that there was a campaign fought in the Gallipoli Peninsula, which the Allies lost to the Ottoman Empire. But the Dardanelles connect the Sea of Marmara to the Mediterranean Sea, and they're about 38 miles long, 3/4 to 3 3/4 miles wide, and about the same depth as the Bosphorus, 180 to 338 feet. So the Dardanelles weren't as strategic in defense as the Bosphorus, but they still played a part. It was the only entrance towards Constantinople from the Mediterranean, and it could actually be blocked off from ships. They could close the Dardanelles, and it would be very hard, if not impossible, for ships to enter. But it was also important for trade. All foreign traders from the south and west entered through the Dardanelles, and they actually put heavier customs on these items than those passing through the Bosphorus. And another strategic part about the Dardanelles was that many mints, not peppermints, but the mints that made money, were located near the Dardanelles. So they'd have to bring the Byzantine money towards the capital of Constantinople, they'd have to travel through the Dardanelles. So it's really important to make sure the money gets to the capital. So, quick recap. So, the Turkish Straits, the Bosphorus, and Dardanelles, they played an important role for the Byzantine Empire and still play a big role today. The trade saw great income, and they both defended Constantinople and the heart of the empire. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can find me at Conklin_Elijah at cl.fcsd.edu. Thanks again.